Hi everybody, this is Mr. Lu. Yesterday we shot a video explaining why I think many people should not be buying a private property. That sparked a huge discussion in my YouTube channel and also in my Telegram channel. And I really want to further elaborate on a few points, but the most important thing is I actually got new insights that I think everybody should know. Some of them I didn't know until some of the comments that were given. Very constructive comments. Thank you. I read every one of them. I may not be able to reply every one of them. Same for my Telegram group. We have a 30,000 strong followers channel in Telegram, where there's a lot of community expert there helping everybody with your financial questions. You know, you should take advantage of it. Join us at Lu1M65 in our Telegram group. It's Lu1M65. I'll try to pin the link in the description. But if you like some of the work that I've done, please hit like and subscribe. You know, I'll be very grateful to you. But let's get on with the video. So the first thing I want to say is that, you know, I have nothing against people who wanting to buy private properties, especially condominiums or landed property, when you can afford it. Okay, when you can afford it. And some people say, Mr. Lu, what do you mean by can afford it, right? Well, you know, the first rule is not so much about how many percent of income whatsoever. There are some yardstick, but I think a simple yardstick would be: do you have stress in owning the property? Do you have stress in owning a property? If you have stress in owning the property, okay, especially financial stress, okay, then maybe you should think twice whether you want to own the private property, right? You know, you cannot assume that you know, your current high pay job will be there forever. I think in Singapore it's very difficult to go hungry because the job market is always very tight, okay? But you may not be able to find a high paying job, especially once you cross 45 years old, right? So so that's one yardstick, okay? The other yardstick I would say is that you know, whether your CPF can service all the monthly mortgages. That would be a good yardstick. The minute you need to touch cash, it eats into your daily life, right? And that is another yardstick, I think, right? So affordability of private property would simply means that in my definition, you know, don't give you financial stress, and whether your CPF can use to serve all the mortgage loans. Some people say, oh, but Mr. Lu, private property is so expensive, CPF sure not enough. Well, make sure you pay up enough of the private property so that your CPF is enough, right? So, but these are very broad stroke yardstick, right? So and so on. Now, one comment that I made, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, is actually one striking idea that was given to me that actually is really against owning Shield HDB. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, right? The next thing I want to say is that you know, someone actually said this, which I thought was quite interesting. He said that the financial freedom from a fully paid up HDB may extend my lifespan, right? So his point is that, you know, wow, owning a private property and all the financial stress that comes with the huge mortgage loan and all this actually you know, might shorten his life, right? That's quite interesting, right? Now let's talk about the other interesting thing about private property investment. A lot of people say that private property investment is a very good investment, or generally property investment is good investment. Of course, when they say that, maybe they're comparing not just against HDB, but also against the stock market and bonds and all the other alternatives. So let me just say this, that there is a very interesting insight, okay, that I want to give everybody, right? So everybody must hear this, okay? This is going to be controversial, but hear me out. But I'm a financial educator. I really watch this, and I think this is going to be more right, okay, than most people would agree with me. Private property investment is only a good investment when you leverage. I say again, property investment is only a good investment, meaning that you yield high returns when you leverage. Okay, that means if a house costs $2 million and you use all $2 million in cash, you know, then you might as well put that $2 million in the S&P 500 because you 8 to 12%. But because the private property, you generally leverage. That means you pay up $500,000 and you buy a $2 million property, so you get your returns leverage. So property is only a good investment when you use leverage. First, all those property fanatics, do you agree with this statement? Okay, do you agree with this statement? But contradictionary, don't know whether it's right, but contradictionary, okay, or rather, conversely, you get tremendous financial stress, okay, when you leverage. And the higher the leverage is, okay, is the higher the stress is. So financial leverage gives you high returns, but financial leverage also gives you high stress. Do you see that? Okay. So there is an equilibrium point somewhere. I don't know how to calculate that because that involves the human emotions. Okay. But the same thing that gives you high return gives you tremendous stress, right? So it's a huge contradiction. Right? Do you see that? Okay. So mark my word. Property is only a good investment only when you leverage. But however, when you leverage, you will get huge financial stress, right? So this is something that is contradictionary. I still don't know whether that's such a word. Someone good in English, please correct me, or maybe I used a paradox. Okay, so this is something we need to bear in mind. The thing that gives you the high returns also give you high stress, right? So this is something I think we need to bear in mind, right? I'm not saying that property is not giving you good return, but in the process of getting good return, you must tahan the high stress, right? Okay. A few rightful points that were brought up, okay, that I want to say is that number one, someone said that HDB has no security. Anyone can come and knock at your door. Salesmen, fundraisers, vacuum sellers, insurance agent, anybody can knock at your door and there's no security. Is that true? Yes, I think it's true. I stay at HDB. A Yakult seller always come and knock at my door. People selling all sorts of stuff and knock at my door. That is true. Okay, that is the downside of a HDB. That is absolutely true. Okay, and I don't know in private property is that ever possible because there's a security. So, but that is something we all lived with. Okay. Then this is a very important downside of a HDB, okay, that someone brought out. I thank the person. HDB cannot be passed down as an inheritance easily. I say again, HDB flat cannot be passed down as an inheritance easily. Okay, so the idea is this. So I have a HDB flat, okay, the day I pass on, I die, okay, the HDB flat, I cannot pass to my 3 kids because each of them will likely have their own HDB flats. So the HDB flats has to be sold off, okay, over a period of time. I don't know, HDB probably give you 3 months, 6 months accounting, right? And you'll be sold at the prevailing market condition, whether you like it or not. You cannot keep and rent it out whatsoever. No, okay? Whereas in the private property, you can actually pass on to your kids, even though she owns a HDB, okay? So you'll not be forced to sell the private property, and your kids can decide at their own time when they want to sell it. They can rent it out and get the returns and split among all 3 kids and things like that. And if they own a private property, and if I pass on, I can pass it to let's say like Kate, okay, owns a private property and no HDB. I can pass it to her, but she has to move out of the private property and move to HDB. Some people can do that, some people can't. It's up to you, okay? So that is kind of a not so good thing about HDB. So I thank whoever wrote that, giving me this interesting insight, okay? So these are HDB challenges that you may have, okay? Although to me, just sell it, when it comes, right? So what you do want is, the minute I die, happen to kena one recession, the HDB market turn really very bad and things like that, right? So that possibly is a terrible situation if that happens, right? So in short, don't pass away when the market condition is bad, right? So, but other than that, I don't see that big downside with HDB when I see all the people who who mentioned it. One of it I worth pointing out, and I want everybody to give me your judgment. Someone actually wrote this, okay? And you can read it in my comments on my previous video, okay? He says that HDB dwellers, different social standing, okay? HDB dwellers, when the animals, let's say they have a dog, right? Animal poo, the HDB dweller don't pick up the poo one, okay? And then there are a lot of littering around HDB. There are inconsiderate, rude neighbors in HDB. There are funerals in HDB, and there are weddings in HDB, right? So when I read this, I don't know. In my estate, everybody who bring dogs down to walk, and there are lots of it. Okay, I actually see them bring a plastic bag and take it. The only problem I have with that is that that's why I don't have a dog. I can't imagine myself doing that for my own dog, so that's why I don't have a dog. Okay, but I don't see that inconsiderate type of animal dwellers. I think maybe all the landed property dog owners and all the condo dog owners, don't have a single one that will leave the dog poo behind. Okay, I mean there are always black sheeps around. Okay, littering only exists in HDB. I'm not too sure about that. Okay, I'm not too sure about that. And I can see maybe I didn't go enough private property areas. I don't stay in one, so I cannot say it. Okay, maybe it's true at in private property, not a single one litter. Okay, or very much lesser people litter. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I think litter happen everywhere. Litter happen everywhere. And then does rude neighbors only happen in HDB and never in private property or condo or landed property? I think this one is a bit stretch. People exist, my neighbors are extremely friendly and nice, and I really appreciate them. I really appreciate them. Funerals and wedding. I just want to ask those people who are private property owners, when someone passed away, where do you conduct the funeral? Do you only conduct in those funeral parlors? Can you not conduct in your estate and things like that? I don't know whether that's such a ruling. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, but I thought funerals are free to be conducted everywhere. I know in landed house they can even do it outside their house in the common roads and things like that. I think weddings, uniquely, some of it's actually part and parcel of our culture, right? It's very nice to see some of our other neighbors celebrating weddings in HDB estate. We celebrate with them, right? So I think it's something that we are happy about it. And so what's wrong with that? Yeah. So what's wrong with that, right? So you mean weddings cannot be when I got married, as in there's a church wedding, and I mean there's a Christian wedding, and then finally there's a second Chinese customary wedding. My church wedding was in HDB flat. Yeah, that's 1997, right? 1997. Okay. Yeah. So I also get married in HDB. So what's the issue? I hear in the wedding ring it says 1997. Right? This ring was exchanged. Okay. In the HDB flat. Okay, lots of my friends and family were there. So what's wrong with that? Right? So what's wrong with that? Maybe you're a bit too atasa. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I hope that you find this video useful. Okay, so the key takeaway from today really is number one is that everybody actually can go and buy private property. Is something that's good, and if it fits your lifestyle and you enjoy it. The key thing is that you must financially be able to afford it. That you're no stress in your life. And second thing is that financial investment through a property will only make sense if you leverage. Okay, but when you leverage, you get hit with a lot of financial stress. So there's a trade-off somewhere that you could get to terms with. And last is very interesting insight is that HDB as a downside to it cannot be passed on as an inheritance. Okay, it has to be sold, and the amount from the proceed can be passed on then as inheritance, right? So that part has a slight difference, quite a big difference from private property. So all of us got to be mindful of that. Okay. So with this, I hope you find this video useful, and thanks for all your comments. I really appreciate it. Okay. So I'll see you in a day or two. Goodbye.